I heard somewhere once that sport is the language that we all understand.
One of my fondest sporting memories was representing the Northern Territory at the 2010 BMX Nationals in Shepparton.
And some of my fondest memories, apart from winning, because I'm a very competitive person, have really been the friendships I've made along the way. And I just think it's so amazing that you can come from completely different backgrounds or upbringings and really create this special bond. And I love that sport has the capability of doing that.
Competing at the London 2012 Olympic Games, it's something that I cherish so much, to be able to call myself an Olympian, and even all these years later I still pinch myself and am very grateful to have been able to achieve that.
When Cathy Freeman won the gold medal in Sydney, I went along with my dad. When she came out onto the track, the crowd went absolutely wild. There was a huge roar, and it was just a really amazing and uniting feeling.
My fondest memory of sport actually is when I came back to sport as a mum with a young child, and coming together with other mums and having an absolute laugh about how unfit we all were. But it was so great to do it together.
Now, to the serious stuff. What does reconciliation mean to me?
To me, reconciliation means to be acknowledged.
A lot of it for me is around recognition, truth-telling, and the removal of double standards for my people.
Reconciliation is an opportunity for all Australians to acknowledge our history in a really honest way.
And I think that comes when we can listen to one another and draw on the wisdom and the cultures of all people.
Not only acknowledged as Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, but as bearers of knowledge passed down from generation to generation that spans thousands of years back.
The coming together of young and old, Indigenous, non-Indigenous, past history and present, just simply to create a better future for our next generation.
I really do believe Australia has come a long way, but I do know that we have a lot further to go.
I think sport has a really big role to play in reconciliation, because what sport does really organically is that it brings people together and it allows people to be on an even playing field.
No matter your race, your religion, your gender, or your sexuality. So as long as we have an inclusive sport, there's an opportunity for Indigenous Australians to achieve greatness equally with everybody.
A prominent way I see reconciliation lived out through sport is through acknowledgements and welcomes to country throughout sporting events and sports in general. It should be common practice in all sports throughout Australia.
To get to that even playing field, it's not always an even or fair experience for everyone.
The country is often taking two massive leaps forward and then one step back. Almost all major sporting codes have Indigenous rounds and uniforms, and they have the stories to tell about that, and they really promote that. And then on the other hand, you have the vilification of sporting icons such as Adam Goodes or Latrell Mitchell. But I really think it's important to acknowledge both the good and the bad, but really focus on what we can do in the future to improve.
On the sporting ground, we're playing the game, and when we can do that side by side, there's a shared experience, a time where people can be together and learn from one another.
While sport hasn't been free from racism and challenges still exist today, athletes who are Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander have continued to thrive and really act as role models. People like Yvonne Goolagong-Crawley, Cathy Freeman, Adam Goodes, these are all people and all stories to be really celebrated as we talk about sport and reconciliation and what that means.
Through reconciliation, we can use sport to really close that gap faster.
We are better off as a community, we are stronger.
But not just for Indigenous athletes, for everybody. No one deserves to be singled out because we don't choose the way we are.
Reconciliation is everyone's business, and we can all contribute in our own individual ways.
Reconciliation can improve sport for both Indigenous and non-Indigenous people. It brings us a sense of belonging. Our sport will be more enjoyable, more fun, and we'll be more engaged with each other.
While I do acknowledge that most sporting codes have taken a lot of opportunities to contribute to the education of the wider community, we've also seen some of the most blatantly racist behaviour out on the national sporting stages.
An inclusive sport benefits everybody, and an inclusive sport is a stronger sport.
I don't believe anybody is born racist or sexist, and I think we're all more than capable to unlearn learnt behaviours.
It also allows us to create the foundation that will continue for generations to come.
Because this is what changes hearts and this is what changes minds, and ultimately that's the goal that we need to further realise reconciliation in our country.
Hi, my name is Jack.
Hi, it's Kylie.
I'm Bridget Juno.
My name is Becky Smith.
My name is Chris Bunting.
From Jordan, Dan and Tassie, happy Reconciliation Week and stay deadly mob.